Do I look too old? Or do I look like someone who just gave some gym bros a run for their money?
Whoa. Grandma, what's this about? You look amazing. But gym bros? We need details. ASAP!
Okay, spill it. Were you in a fight? Don't tell me you smacked someone with your purse. LOL.
Oh, honey, it wasn't a smack. It was a total takedown. And I didn't even have to lift a finger. They practically destroyed themselves. I was just there to enjoy the play. I mean, after causing it, of course.
This sounds juicy already. Grandma walking into a gym with pearls and shaking up the entire place. I can already imagine it.
Here's what happened. So, I've been avoiding going out much because of the pandemic and all, but I've got to stay fit because who knows? Anyway, I bought this fancy gym equipment for the house, and guess what? The dang thing broke down.
No! Not the fancy gym equipment. Did you try fixing it yourself first?
Darling, I may be a DIY queen when it comes to knitting and gardening, but heavy-duty gym machinery, that's a whole other level. Doesn't suit your grandma, so I called the store, and do you think they cared? Nope. Nada. Crickets. I paid $5,000 for that treadmill. I was passed around on the phone for weeks, like I was some sort of hot potato no one wanted to touch.
Unbelievable. They really messed with the wrong grandma. They don't know who they're dealing with. LOL.
Exactly. So I decided enough is enough. I was fed up. I wore my pearls, turtleneck dress pants, the whole deal, I figured. If I'm going down there, I'm doing it in style. So I strut in. The first thing I see is a bunch of big beefy guys. You know the type. Muscles on muscles. Tattoos of skulls. Those who have Punisher stickers on their trucks. And here's little old me waltzing in, like I'm about to host a PTA meeting.
Oh my god, I'm dying! You walked into a testosterone palace. Please tell me they were confused.
Oh, confused doesn't even begin to describe it. Their faces were priceless. They stared at me like I was lost. Probably thought I was looking for the ladies' knitting club or something. One of them, who was clearly fresh out of the junior varsity bodybuilding squad, was so dumbfounded he nearly dropped his protein shake.
Lol. It must be your aura. I bet they were too scared to even talk to you.
Well, after standing there like I had crash-landed from another planet, I walked up to the guy working there. I asked him where to sign in for my repair, but the guy just blinked at me, like I just asked for directions to Mars.
LL. He probably had no idea what to do with that information.
He didn't. He literally looked me up and down, as if I was the broken machine. Then, in the most condescending tone, he asked if I was there for an interview.
No! They thought you were applying for a job? I can't. This is too much.
It gets better. I wasn't even in the store for 5 minutes, and they were already making assumptions. So I smiled sweetly, looked him dead in the eye, and said I wasn't applying for a job, but because they won't fix my broken equipment, and have been ignoring me for weeks. I also offered to whip the place into shape, faster than they can say cardio. And mind you, I was using the tone. That scares even the hell out of your dad.
I won't be surprised if the guy peed himself. Like what happened to Dad? Lol.
Then I see the senior guy at the counter. He looked like he'd been skipping leg day for the past 10 years. He comes over all serious, and has the audacity to ask me if I'm in the right place. Like, excuse me, do I look like I wandered in off the street by accident?
I swear, these guys have no idea how to handle a woman like you. I'm crying.
So, I said, I'm sure. I've been planning to come down here all week, and I'm not leaving until I get this repair scheduled. Well, that threw him off. He stammered something about waiting a moment, and practically ran to get his boss.
Ran? Like, for real? They're acting like you're some kind of VIP showing up at the club.
Oh, honey, you'd think they were prepping for the Queen of England. They got all hush-hush, and had this little powwow off to the side. Meanwhile, I'm just standing there, looking fabulous, minding my business, when the senior guy comes back. He tells me they'll talk to me in the back.
Well, what? They thought they were going to take you into the back and handle this quietly? No way.
Exactly. Little did they know. I was about to flip their whole day upside down. They take me back into this dingy little office, and the first thing the senior guy says is, "You've worked with gym equipment before," as if they were trying to test me.
I'm picturing you sitting there, like, this is amateur hour. Let's get serious.
You know me so well, I shot back with. I've been working out longer than you've been alive. I know what's broken and what isn't, and you could see the wheels turning in their heads. They weren't ready for me.
Of course they weren't. You're someone people shouldn't mess with. I bet they didn't even know what hit them.
And then, brace yourselves. The guy straight up asks me, "How old are you, ma'am?" I was floored. I almost couldn't believe it. How is that even relevant to fixing a machine? I wanted to slap the stupidity right out of him.
No way. They did not just ask that. I would have lost it.
Oh, I did lose it, I shot back with. You have no right to ask me that. And then the junior employee, oh, bless his heart, whispers, "I don't think you're legally allowed to ask that." The look on their faces was priceless. It was like they were realizing they'd just stepped into quicksand.
I can't. You're out here schooling these fools on legalities. Legendary.
But the senior guy didn't stop there. He tried to backtrack by saying, "It's not about my age. It's just that most of their clients want someone who looks like them." Yada, yada. I almost laughed.
Looks like them? What is this? A musclehead modeling agency?
Apparently, he even had the nerve to say, "It's also because I'm a woman."
OMG. No. Just digging themselves deeper into that hole.
Oh, honey, I was not about to let that slide. I lectured him and asked, "So what you're telling me is that, because I'm a woman, I'm automatically less capable of using gym equipment than some guy with biceps the size of watermelons?"
Grandma out here dropping truth bombs. Tell me you didn't let them off easy after that.
I wasn't done. I told them. "You realize it's illegal to ask me my age and to discriminate based on gender." I swear they looked like they wanted the ground to swallow them whole. I thought the junior guy was going to cry, but that's the reaction I wanted to see.
I'm actually crying from laughter. These guys thought they could handle you and got absolutely wrecked.
And get this, before they could recover, I asked to speak to the owner, as usual. They tried to claim the owner was unreachable. But you know me, I'm not taking that nonsense. I spotted a tray of business cards on the desk, and just casually picked up the one with the owner's contact info.
Legendary grandma move. They probably regretted putting those business cards.
Exactly. And then I said, "I'll email the owner, since I'm not yet satisfied." I asked for their full names. They looked panicked. The junior guy blurted out his name, Ken Lopez, but the senior guy tried to be a smartass and said his name was Brian Smith.
Brian Smith? That's the fakest name I've ever heard.
Right? So I pointed to his shirt and said, "Then why does your shirt say Andy?" His face turned beet red. And that was it. I walked out, business card in hand, feeling like I'd just conquered a small kingdom.
You really just broke their whole day, huh? I love it.
I'm not yet done. I followed through with my actions, and I emailed the owner, told her about this whole thing in a few hours. Brian Smith, or Andy, was fired.
Grandma. What? You got that man fired?
Well, I mean, he dug his own grave with the way he treated me. Plus, the owner was a woman too. She wasn't thrilled to hear her staff was discriminating based on gender and age. She also personally arranged for a technician to come to my house the next day to fix the machine. And guess what? She gave me her direct number for any future issues. VIP treatment, baby.
You went in for a repair and left with direct access to the boss. That's some real grandma-level hustle.
I'm blown away. You took down a toxic gym bro culture in one day, and you got your equipment fixed.
It's just another day in the life of your grandmother. They'll think twice before messing with someone in pearls again. Hey, just wanted to follow up. Thanks again for getting rid of that Brian Smith guy and for sending the text so quickly. I can't believe it took all of that just to get my machine fixed.
You're very welcome. I'm really sorry you had to deal with that nonsense. I've already spoken to my team. There's going to be some major changes here. That kind of behavior won't be tolerated.
Glad to hear it. If you ever need a new manager, you know where to find me.
Haha, I just might take you up on that offer. You seem like you'd whip this place into shape in no time.
You better believe it. Now, if anyone else gives you trouble, just send them my way. I'll straighten them out.
Deal! Thanks again. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything else.
Oh, I will. And tell your team, next time they'd better watch out. The pearls aren't just for show.
So, Grandma, how's it feel to be a total legend?
Feels pretty darn good. Now, who's next on my list?
Please, go easy on the world. We're not ready for you in full force.
Yape. Save some chaos for the rest of us.